Greetings and welcome to another day of landscape photography. What I want to do today is I want to talk to you about using a framing device to help you. So it would appear that trying to use a cunning edit to hide the wind noise just isn't going to work. So let me try and recount what I was trying to say here. So I'm in a valley. I'm in the Borrowdale Valley in the Lake District National Park, and I'm looking up at the hillside in front of me, and I can see all sorts of individual trees or groups of trees, and what I'm struggling to locate is a composition, and what I want to talk to you about today is using a device that helps me to find compositions in the landscape. Just something really simple but very effective that helps me to do that. This little device, which is just a plastic frame with a slidey door that allows me to put a frame around my scene, whatever it is that I'm looking at. You can see I'm moving the slidey door to adjust the frame from square to 3x2, 4x3, or even letterbox, whatever it is that you want. And a bit like a zoom lens, it's a device that if you move it away from you, it's a bit like zooming in, and if you move it towards you, it's a bit like zooming out, as you can see here. So I'm now holding it close to the camera so you can see my whole face, and then as I move it away from the camera towards me, then you can see less. So now you can just about see the corners of my eyes and my nose. So a bit like using a zoom lens, you can use this to zoom in and out of the landscape, put a frame around it, and decide whether there is genuinely a composition there to be found. And sometimes I do this before the camera even comes out of the bag, because I kind of don't want to waste my time exploring the landscape just with a camera. I want to see if there's some potential before I do that. So I'm going to swap in a second to my video camera, and then try and show this particular bit of kit in use. I'll leave a link to the framing device in the description below. Okay, so there's my hillside. I'm not sure it's going to actually work with this camera. And there's my view catcher. So if I can find a relatively prominent tree, I hope you can see right now that what that does is that puts a frame around that tree, and then I can move that frame around to help me understand whether there's actually a composition there that works with that tree and its little neighbour or not. Are there any distractions around the edges that might not work? Now obviously I've got that set in a square configuration. If I change it to more of a sort of a 4x3, which is what my camera shoots in, I can do the same kind of exercise. If I pull it away from me, I'm fitting a lot less in the frame, and if I pull it away, I'm filling a lot more in the frame. And it's really handy as well to understand how much can you fit in until the sky starts to appear. And in fact, I think I prefer the square format with that tree. Sort of something like so. Now there's also another clump of yellow up here. I'm not sure this camera is going to see it, but it's right up at the very top. Come down a bit so that it... No, I'm not sure I can see it there. The viewfinder on this little video camera is absolutely tiny, so I'm not sure that I can I'm going to swap to the big camera, and then I can zoom in a bit and show you what it looks like on that one. Okay, so I'm on the big camera now, This is going to make it a little bit more straightforward. So here's my view catcher. And what I'm going to do is I've deliberately just set it to a square just to have a little bit of a play. But now I can put it over objects in the landscape. It puts a frame around them, and I can actually make an assessment as to whether there's an image there that works or not. So that one definitely works. I really quite like that. This down here, not so much. I think this tree up here starts to get in the way, and also you end up with a bit of a dead corner down there. So if I move the little door and create more of a 4x3, does a 4x3 work there? I think it works better, but I still think this little chap here gets in the way, and I don't think a 4x3 works on that either. There's a little wispy tree there that's getting in the way, and I think you end up with a dark corner there, or dark slice of the frame that's not really doing anything. So it's those sorts of decisions that I'm making when I'm using one of these things. Whilst I reposition the camera, there are times when I'll just go out into the landscape and I'll have this view catcher in my hand. The camera will be on my back in the bag, but what I'm actually doing is I'm using the view catcher to find out whether there is really genuinely an image there to be captured. Right, so if we go back to my little wispy bits of yellow, which are these things up here, the decision I need to make is there an image there worth capturing? So I'll get the view catcher out, I'll start again as a square, and I will hold it over there, and I think there is a square there. I think I need to be very careful with the bottom edge so that there's not too much of this straight stuff on the bottom edge. Maybe a hint, but not a lot. And I think I need to be careful with this rock because it's quite pale. Maybe if I actually moved in that direction a little bit, these little yellow wisps will be a little bit more obvious. Okay, so out of nothing more than curiosity, I'm going to put the aperture into more of a 4x3, and then I'm going to look at this scene in a more of a 4x3. Now I think that works, but now the scene for me is, well, what is it that I'm trying to say? Is it these straight lines, or is it the wispy bits up above? I can't actually see whether they are connected or not, because I'm actually looking into the light. I'm not sure that they are. I mean, there is a suggestion or a notion that they are, but yeah, that sort of works. I think there's potential in both frames. I think I would probably take both and then make that assessment when I got home on the big screen. But that's what I'm using it for. I'm using it to try and determine whether there is something worth capturing. Is it really worth me getting my camera out and going to all the faff of setting it all up to create an image? That's the question that I'm answering before the camera has come out the bag. I'm just going to look at that little tree there. I'm not sure that works actually. It looks a little bit lost, doesn't it? Bless it. In the middle of that frame. So again, I'm going to move to more of a 4x3 type frame. Does it work then? Maybe it works a little bit better. Yeah, maybe not, don't know. But that's what I'm trying to do. That's the question that I'm trying to answer by using one of these things in the landscape. There you go. Quick whistle stop, but hopefully a useful whistle stop about how I use one of these things. Sorry, I'm trying to turn away from the wind so you don't get a lot of wind noise. For me, an essential part of my landscape photography kit. It's something I talk about again at camera clubs, when I'm doing talks, in order to help people to find their compositions. Now, you can use a mobile phone to do exactly the same thing, but I still think with a mobile phone, because you've got a camera in your hand, you're still tempted to create a photograph. Whereas here, there is no temptation at all. You are looking through a piece of plastic, and certainly for me, the thought processes that are going through my head are, can I really be bothered to get all the kit out after using one of these? If the answer is yes, then I'm pretty sure I've got a good composition. If I'm doing it with my phone, I'd just be so tempted to go, oh yeah, that's all right, click. And that's why I don't do it on a phone. It's horses for courses at the end of the day. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing, hitting the subscribe button below. And if you click on the little bell button alongside, then you'll get notified when new content is added. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. However, if you don't like it, please do give it a thumbs down. I do look at likes and dislikes because that helps me to frame future content, because there's no point just producing it for the sake of it. I do actually want to produce content that's useful and helpful for people. So like and dislike at your pleasure, please. I will put some images at the end of this video for you to look at based on what we were looking at through the view catcher, and there will be a link to the view catcher on Amazon in the description underneath this video. Until the next one, thank you very much again for watching. Stay safe, stay well, keep exploring with your camera. Bye for now.